Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Mr. Snyder, if we could have roll call. Our apologies, we have a little technical difficulty here going on, so I've slowed him down.
There we go. Mr. Finaro.
Present.
Ms. Grieve.
Here.
Ms. Grosek.
Here.
Mr. Hess.
Here.
Mr. Tressi.
Here.
Oh, yes. We have a special guest. I knew I would mess it up. Marika, if you would come on up and help us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Give you my mic and the
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry, Marika.
Okay. Hey, Sean. Do you want to flip that to Wanda?
Good evening, everyone. Mayfield City Schools is a special place. Each and every day, 4,000 students come to our buildings and are greeted with love, kindness, patience, and an education designed to truly prepare them for college, career, and life. In Mayfield, we have a shared understanding. We believe there's a path for every child and are committed to doing whatever it takes to assure every individual student will be a success story. This, ladies and gentlemen, is excellence. What does it mean when we say Mayfield is a district of excellence? Mayfield excellence is about the relationships we have. The relationships between students and teachers, the relationships between our staff and parents, and the relationships we have with business leaders, elected officials, and our 4 communities. Mayfield excellence is about having a shared vision that's a promise of lifelong learning, dignity, and respect for all, which binds us together as an entire school community. Mayfield excellence is about the way in which we challenge our students cognitively. Perhaps sophomore Charlie Brunello said it best earlier this year when he said, quote, "My teachers make me think, work out problems, and develop skills to succeed in this world." Mayfield excellence is about the development of skills, abilities, and mindsets. Our portrait of a Mayfield Wildcat, our competencies, and our personalized learning philosophy allows our students to develop and sharpen their soft skills and habits of mind. The acquisition of these skills and mindsets are critical as our students navigate through a complex and ever-changing world. Mayfield excellence is every student, every day. Our pre-K through high school students, teachers, and staff have put into action the Mayfield mission beyond just mere words on a piece of paper to align practices in our classrooms, fields, hallways, etc. This work is coupled with the convergence of a rigorous, standards-based curriculum and high-quality instruction. Mayfield excellence is our legacy. It began more than 100 years ago and has continued with every student, teacher, and relationship in between. Building on Mayfield's excellence, we focus forward. Building on our excellence, the district has partnered with Huron-Studer Education to help us advance our work. Tonight we are joined via Zoom by Dr. Wanda Krill of Huron-Studer Education. Tonight she will be providing the Board of Education with a brief overview of the process to come for this work. In addition to Mayfield, Dr. Krill is currently working with school districts in Georgia, Michigan, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Florida, and now Ohio. Dr. Krill is the former Associate State Superintendent at the Georgia Department of Education. She also served as the Director of School Improvement at the Georgia Department of Education. At the district level, Dr. Krill served as Chief Academic Officer in Lee County School District in the state of Florida, a district with over 96,000 students, as well as Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning in Houston County Schools in Perry, Georgia. Dr. Krill has also served as superintendent in 2 different school districts in the state of Georgia, Borough County Schools and Gainesville City Schools, as we continue to advance Mayfield's excellence. We look forward to our partnership with Dr. Krill and Huron Studer Education. Her work with us will involve virtual interactions as well as in-person interactions in the form of town hall meetings, focus group meetings, board presentations, and other facilitated discussions. Without further ado, I turn this meeting over to Dr. Krill at this moment. Dr. Krill, please take it away.
Dr. Barnes, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And Ford, it is a pleasure to meet you, although it is not in person this evening. I look forward to having the opportunity to visit with you at times in person. I do have to say that what Dr. Barnes started off with as far as talking about excellence and Mayfield City Schools, I've only had a small amount of interactions with the district, but what I have learned in this short amount of time is that Mayfield City Schools truly exemplifies that excellence, the attention to details, and really that personalized approach to meeting the needs of all those that they serve. So it is truly an honor to be the newest team member to Mayfield City Schools as we continue this work moving forward to build upon the excellence that's already in place and just continue to get better for the students that are served through the Mayfield City Schools. I'm going to start with a presentation here. It's very short presentation, but just a brief introduction of what we are doing. I'm going to go back one slide and make sure that everyone sees that Mayfield City Schools, every student, every day, is one of the anchors of the work that we will do moving forward, as well as the vision that's already in place of a promise for lifelong learning, dignity, and respect for all. I love the emphasis that's being placed on focus forward Mayfield, and that came from the team there in Mayfield. And I think it's a great way to set the stage for just continuing to move forward to meet the needs of students and the community. What we see are anchors in regards to the portrait of a Mayfield Wildcat, as Dr. Barnes outlined. So we have the mission, the vision, the portrait of the Mayfield Wildcat that will stay intact 100%, as well as the personalized approach to not only student learning, but as we work with teachers and the community, as well as the professional learning communities, or PLCs, which are looking at the data and having conversations in order to drive that instruction and the needs for students forward. As we look at this slide, I'd like to just kind of walk you through the process that we're going to engage in over the next few months. It's already been shared with me, the community satisfaction survey data, and I'll be using that to help set the stage, not only at the town hall meetings, but with the steering committee. I am looking forward to being there on site on February the 1st. Excuse me, that's February the 1st, and it says here on the slide February the 9th, for the town hall meeting from 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m., and then from March the 13th, the second town hall meeting. I'm looking forward when I am on site, also on February 1st, to meeting with the Student Advisory Committee. Superintendent's already in place, Student Advisory Committee, but I'll have the opportunity to ask them some questions like, what do you think is working well in the district? What are you most proud of? What do you think we could do better? What opportunities do we have in front of us? And then if you were to look 5 or 10 years down the road, what vision might you have for Mayfield City Schools? I'll ask those questions not only of the Student Advisory Committee, but also the Instructional Leadership Team, as well as the Parent Advisory Committee. All of those will be held on February the 1st. Our first steering committee will be held from 3:30 to 5:30 on February the 1st, and then you'll see the dates of February the 22nd, March the 14th, and April the 3rd, where we will come back together. I have ongoing monthly check-in calls with Dr. Barnes and Mr. Snyder while we talk through all of the elements, not only of the Focus Forward Mayfield, but any other things that I can help to do to support the district. In order to take the information that we use to create a Focus Forward Mayfield, we will take that information once we feel pretty comfortable with where we're at and create a survey that not only those people that are part of the steering committee and the advisory committees will feel like that they have input, but everyone will have the opportunity to provide their input on the draft Focus Forward plan. Tonight is our first communication engagement, but I'll come back and join you again on March the 14th, as well as May the 24th, when Focus Forward Mayfield is presented for your approval. As we think about this process, one of the things that we know are in place and will remain in place are the vision and the mission and the portrait of a Mayfield Wildcat. But we will be looking at identifying pillars, or those foundational priorities that we want to focus on. Many times people may refer to this as goal areas, but we will talk about pillars. That may be student success, that may be around employees. We may just have one pillar if that's what we feel like that we need to work on. This is an approach that is personalized just for Mayfield, and there is nothing that is set in stone when we begin this process other than the things that are already in place there. Once we identify those pillars, we will identify the priorities or the areas that we feel like are the most important for us to work on. Then we will identify strategies and actions. And lastly, we will connect measures to those strategies and actions so that we can do ongoing progress monitoring to determine whether we are seeing success in the strategies that we are implementing and how we might need to adjust those strategies in order to see greater impact. So that's a really brief overview of the process that we're going to undertake in the next 4 to 5 months. It's a very aggressive timeline, but as I said, the examples that I have already had to work with there in Mayfield City just says that people are very on point and ready to go and already doing amazing things. And this just gives us the opportunity to come together to seek additional input and for people to really feel a part of this process as we outline what our priorities are moving forward for the next 3 to 5 years. So I will move forward just so that you have this information. I will come off of this screen, but know that you have my contact information if for any reason I can ever be of help to you and answer any questions. My primary contacts are Dr. Barnes and Mr. Snyder, but of course, if there's anything that I can help you with, I'm always eager and willing to help in any way possible. So I'm going to go backwards to our process document, and Dr. Barnes, I'll turn it back over to you.
Board members, do we have any questions?
Not a question, but I'm happy to see that we're going to have a monitoring thing in place, because many times these things are done, it's one and done, put it on the shelf, and you come back to a couple of years later and say, what did we do? I'm glad there's a monitoring process that's going to be in place for this. I'm very excited about that.
Thank you for that. I think that's important to stress that this is a multi-year partnership with Irene Studer, which again, we talk about how do we know we're getting better. We certainly want to continue to strive to move the needle organizationally and advance our excellence that's already here. One of the compliments that was offered up by Irene Studer when Mr. Snyder and I began initially meeting with them is they spoke about the maturation of our organization. That when they work with school districts in other portions of the country, they didn't see the same type of sophistication and advancement that we possess here with an embedded and ingrained vision and mission that's a part of the DNA and fabric here, as well as a instructional philosophy around the personalization. We call it all access learning because we branded it. But to see that maturation, they were very, very complimentary. Mr. Schneider, is there anything you want to add?
I know I'm excited for the process. I do want to give the board a tremendous amount of credit for at least having the courage to go through something like this. There's always that risk, but I think these times require us to really reflect and focus forward, as we keep saying that theme is out there, and also that we're taking advantage to pay for this, because it's obviously the area that I'm in, using the stimulus dollars that we received as a result of COVID. So we're taking these one-time dollars and we're being strategic that could have a 5-year, a 10-year impact. That's a tremendous return on that investment. So that's going to pay for half of the contract. Maybe we can stretch the stimulus dollars, but again, give you this tremendous foresight in looking at one-time dollars and trying to be very strategic and make certain it's the biggest return on that investment.
I would just like to highlight what Mr. Finaro said, that I'm also very glad that it is a process that's going to be monitored, so that we can see the forward progress and make course corrections where necessary, instead of just thinking that we have a map, a plan, and aimlessly are wandering.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dr. Barnes, if I can interject here, I know our initial work is on creating the Focus Forward Mayfield plan. But with that, as I mentioned, we will identify those measures that will allow us to see the progress that we're making. But our very next phase that we will move into is the creation of a scorecard that will serve as somewhat of a dashboard and have those measures present, and we'll be able to watch the maturation of that continued progress, creating those targets on an annual basis, but also having that 5-year target, looking at the end goal in mind, but how we see that growth as we are moving towards meeting that target, so that we can continually see that growth and progress being made.
Awesome.
I just mention one thing. This is also, I mean, to have multi-year, it's also good because whether you're here, he's here, I'm here, it keeps moving on. Whoever's sitting here, whoever's sitting out there, this will keep moving on as people come through. It's not one and done and over with, and we should do something else different the next year. So it's gonna be a great thing to have. Excuse my voice tonight.
Dr. Creel, thank you.
All right, y'all have a good evening. Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Okay, moving forward, focusing forward. You get it? Okay, all right. The month of January is School Board Appreciation Month in Ohio. We collectively thank you, Board, for your countless hours that you dedicate to our students, teachers, staff, and community of the Mayfield City Schools. Your dedication, care, and vision cannot be measured. We talked the other night with our parent advisory council about one of the common characteristics of successful, high-performing organizations is consistent leadership at the top. And while I didn't like to mention it, I did mention the dreaded Pittsburgh Steelers, and one of the things that you can find in them is consistent leadership. But I digress, going back. Some of our teachers asked their students to voluntarily write thank you note, to thank you for the work that you do for our schools. Here are a couple of quotes from our students. I quote, "Thank you for making an impact on my learning and others. We genuinely recognize the importance that you have made towards our learning. Wholeheartedly, we see your hard work and dedication to your jobs. Our learning has drastically improved because of your dedication to our schools. Your efforts have shown me and my peers ways to think critically, to be creative, and be curious. As a middle schooler, going into high school, I noticed the changes you've made at Mayfield Middle School and how they positively benefit me as a student and others," end quote. Here's another one, quote, "We appreciate all that you do for the students and staff. Mayfield is a great place because of you. Without you, it wouldn't be a good district. Thank you so much for making Mayfield a great place to learn and for supporting our education," end quote. And one more, quote, "Together, all of you make a wonderful team. You work so hard to make our schools a wonderful place for us to grow and be wonderful human beings. I especially thank you for providing us with such devoted teachers and staff members who work their hardest to care for our students. Thank you once again for putting your heart and soul into the work you do for us," end quote. Also, there's notes and drawings and pictures on your before you that the kids have made. And we just really, really appreciate everything that you do in supporting this entire school district. I'm not just saying that because you're my bosses and Scott's bosses, but we really, really do appreciate you. And I will ask those in attendance tonight to please join me in celebrating our wonderful Board of Education with a round of applause. Anything?
I will say that I often get asked how I like being on the Board of Education, and I love it because it is a great team and it's a great community. And without all of you, we couldn't do what we do. And so I thank all of you.
And just to let you know how important I am, a few years back, from an elementary student, first grader, I think, he was thanking me for everything I do on the board. And he went on to say, if it wasn't for me, there wouldn't even be a Mayfield school system. I have that framed, and I really, I was so cute.
I would just simply like to add, if I may, just your 2 comments. This is a very selfless board, and I don't think the community, and I think they clearly understand, or at least the words of the students, how selfless you are, how prepared you are, the questions that they ask, and this is just simply the function of all the work that they've done to prepare themselves for the actions that are taken tonight. But I can't tell you the number of calls that I know I field, that Mike fields, that we both field, making sure they're comfortable with the actions that we're about to recommend, the risks that are associated. And I think that's the one benefit. You're all individuals, but when you come here, you're a team. You guys support one another. And I think that's truly tremendous for this organization. This is my 27th year. I know I look a lot younger than that, or maybe a lot older than that. And I've worked in a variety of places, and this is the one that you guys truly come in with. The community at the district first, certainly yourselves are second, and it's a thankless job, and I guess I'm truly honored to be here and working for the 5 of you. It's a great place.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to just add, as the rookie in this room, as the rookie, I've been asked a lot over the course of the last year, do you like it? Yeah, I do. I do like it because I care. We care. This is how we roll.
Amen.
This is why I ran. I am extremely honored and privileged to serve our school district, and it's been a learning year for me, but truly I am engaged and I am excited for all that lies ahead for our school district.
For a person that's been in politics an awful long time, this is the best you can get right here. Not council, and I was there for 13 years. This is where it counts. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we have a presentation. Mr. Regan.
Well, we're going to continue the celebration, so anyone can get this up here first. All right, Board of Education, Dr. Barnes, Mr. Snyder, thank you for having me to celebrate Mayfield High School. I would be remiss if I didn't say to Dr. Barnes, I need to speak on behalf of my students. They hope you see your shadow this evening, so that there's a chance. All right, I am honored to bring up our Student of the Month, Senior Marika Teachin. If you could come up here, Marika. I'm going to have you turn and face everyone. I want to read some wonderful things that your teachers had to say about you. Marika is one of the hardest working, passionate, organized, determined, friendliest, kindest, and inspirational students who has graced the hallways of Mayfield High School. She embodies all the best qualities of a teenager and wears them with so much pride and enthusiasm. As a student, her teachers describe her passion for learning. Last school year, she got up 45 minutes early each day to come into school and solve physics problems with Dr. Salin. Furthermore, Mr. Hughes recalled Marika taking on the role of Voltaire in the Enlightenment Salon activity, where where she brought him to life in ways that no other student had in the 20 years of Mr. Hughes' career. In addition to her academic success, Marika is a leader outside of the classroom. She is a member of the French Club, Science Olympiad, stage crew, mock trial, and marching band. Marika is also passionate about the environment and is her desire to help achieve a livable earth. This is what has led her to focus on agricultural engineering. As Ms. Burek stated, Marika offers a culturally rich background and a zest for life. Overall, we discussed what the portrait of a Wildcat looks like. You need to look no further than Marika. Ladies and gentlemen.
Excuse me, let me move.
We would like to be.
Hey, Marika. Hey, congratulations.
Let's give her another round of applause.
Next, we have 15 students that I would like to recognize, and they were so excited to be here, only one of them did. This past month, the Scholastic Art and Writing Awards were provided for our students who submitted some of their art or their writing pieces. And first off, I want to give kudos to 3 of our teachers. Ms. Berry, who's here with us tonight, Diana Beebe, and Jennifer Stevenson for providing the leadership and the love and the passion for the arts. This is the most that we've ever had during my career, students that were recognized at once. So again, we have 15. These students submitted art and writing, and they are judged on 3 core values. And those core values are originality, skill, and emergence of a personal vision. And these artists are free to explore any and all topics. So as I call your name, I'm going to go through, I want to recognize everyone that earned the award. So. You can come on up. I'd rather just have you stand, and it's all good. You deserve this. So Cindy Ferentz, senior, was recognized for 2 honorable mentions. One for her poem, The Passage of Guilt, and one for her poem, My Clementine. Adeline Nicholson was recognized for her honorable mention for her drawing, Containment Breach. Angelina Mellon won 3 honorable mentions. One for her flash fiction, Pink Leggings, one for her short story, Stubborn Love, and one for her short story, The Power of a Memory. Cecilia Sugar won a Silver Key, that's the 2nd highest, for her poem, Farewell. Elias Wilson was recognized 4 times. Once for a Gold Key for his drawing, Stargazing, and 3 Silver Keys for his drawings, Honey Jar, Drapery Study, and In Your Arms. Jamie Israel won a Silver Key for the flash fiction piece, Iced Over, and an honorable mention for the poem, My Lips Are Chapped, My Cheeks Are Red. Jessica Gillick was recognized for an honorable mention for her drawing, Breaking the Rule. Kaylee Roy, honorable mention for her drawing, Rebirth of a Man. Mary Jo Batesel won a Gold Key, so her piece will be moving on to the national competition in New York. For her flash fiction, A Voiceless Conversation. And 2 honorable mentions, one for her poem, A Silent Work of Art, and an honorable mention for her personal essay and memoir, Living Like a Child. Mia Calla won an honorable mention for her ceramics piece, Nature Plate. Mia Maurer, 2 honorable mentions, one for her poem, The Vase, and one for her short story, Killing Town's Killings. Molly Decker was recognized for a Silver Key for her poem, The Toilet Bowl, and an honorable mention for her poem, Thinking Skills. Pallavi Satish, 2 honorable mentions, one for her short story, Death Tango, and one for her short story, Chessboard. Sasha Capinos, honorable mention, personal essay and memoir for Mamma Mia. And Zoe Kittredge, honorable mention, for the science fiction and fantasy piece, Scarred Wounds Never Heal. So ladies and gentlemen, please let's recognize our 15 students.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
And then if you want to get the orange. Okay, wait.
A little pin for you, Mayfield pin.
All right.
Did you get your photo?
I got it.
Did you get it?
I'll get one each.
Another round of applause, please.
And I have 2 more recognitions this evening. We have outstanding students, but the loving and caring staff that come into our building each and every day is the foundation for the success of our students. So first and foremost, Donna Leonardi, unfortunately Donna can't be here because she's taking care of her mother. But Donna is an incredible leader. This past summer, we did not have a head day custodian. And for some of you that you might be like, okay, no big deal. Well, we need to get things ready in the building for the start of the school year. And Donna took it upon herself to be that leader, to kind of rally the troops, to bring the team together and make sure all the classrooms were clean, all the furniture is moved. We've had a ton of construction at the high school, and our building has never looked cleaner. And so I just really want to thank Donna for not only the leadership in the summer, but the leadership that she is currently providing each and every day when she comes in. She's always one of the first to come and one of the first to leave. And if you ever need anything, a phone call away and she'll do anything for our students and staff. So I do want to recognize Donna. And Miss Kathleen Morgan. So, I do hear this a lot, that special people come into our lives for a reason. And there's no doubt, Kathleen, that you were put in education at Lander, at the high school, for a reason. Kathleen teaches in our multiple disabilities classroom. And, she gets her students ready with her pre-vocational skills, loves doing calendar every day, but it's the love and encouragement that you show each and every one of your students. Not only that, but it's making sure that all your students feel included in every part of high school, whether it's Banner Buddies, where, this is what she created, where her students get to carry a banner out before every home football game, and a smile on their face, it says it all. Perfect Pause, where students are cheering at swimming events, at wrestling events, at basketball, you name it. Friends Club, where we have students from our building coming in and playing games with the students in Kathleen's classroom. And then I think about Homecoming, where you create a backdrop for your students to come in and get their picture taken with their friends. You've created an incredible environment. Now, I know that my words don't do it justice, so I just want to play a quick video of your students and some of our staff thanking you for what you've done.
Miss Morgan, you're the best teacher.
Now that I got my leather jacket and you a perfect pause.
I'm going to tell you the best teacher.
I love cheerleading, and I love getting in my cheerleading outfit for all the games I do.
Miss Morgan, we love you.
Miss Morgan is so beautiful. Miss Morgan is really talented.
Thank you for having me be in Banner Buddies, Mrs. Morgan.
We love you and have a good day, Miss Morgan.
I like Miss Morgan because she's nice.
Mrs. Morgan is one of the greatest people I know. She works so hard for kids and makes her room the most welcoming place, so that's why I always come visit. I know our kids are really lucky to have her.
So I've had the distinct pleasure of working with Kathleen for like the last 6 or 7 years. And not only is she amazing, but she's super kind and she has a true heart for teaching. The best thing about Kathleen is that she's super student focused and she really works so hard to help every student reach their potential. You can guarantee if your student is with Kathleen, they're going to learn and grow and thrive. It's been an honor to work with her, and not only is she a great colleague, she works super awesome with families, and it's such an honor to be with her.
I love Miss Morgan. She's a great teacher.
I love doing curtain pause at the basketball games. I love Miss Morgan because she totally is my reading and writing.
Miss Morgan, I love cheerleading with hockey games.
Miss Morgan, you make me smile. Thank you for loving me so well. Miss Morgan, you're a rock star. We are so proud of you. Congratulations.
When I'm having a bad day, moment, or week, the first place I think to go to is Mrs. Morgan's classroom. Obviously, the number one reason the kids, but watching the magic of what she does in there brings me a tremendous amount of joy. The room is inviting, it's welcoming, and it is loving. Kathleen is so deserving of this recognition tonight. She treats every student with deep respect and great dignity. Her plans for the students are personalized and they're challenging. All the students' needs are met all day long. Not many people can do what she does, and she does it perfectly. It must be noted that her village is unmatchable. These parapros that work with her and for her make the job go as well as it does. None of them know the word no, and together they make a beautiful team. Congratulations, Kathleen. I love you.
I love you, Miss Morgan.
So her incredible team is here with her, and they are incredible. But honestly, Kathleen, thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
And lastly, sorry, I do want to get to our pathway. Mayfield is such a special place, and I heard in everything that you guys said, today as you were talking about the forward focus. This community is incredible, and one thing that I'm most proud about our district is providing different pathways for all kids, no matter what their interest level is, whether it's academically, whether it's co-curricular, whether it's extracurricular. We have something for every student. We try to personalize their pathway throughout their entire career. And so, first off, I want to give kudos to senior Hannah Klopman for putting this video together. It's a 3-minute video, just trying to capture the essence of what happens at the high school every day, and just really the competencies of what we're trying to teach our students to be just better people.
I love about Mayfield is the collaboration and that we really get to work with our peers and expand our learning opportunities.
I really like working at Mayfield because the students here are just so enthusiastic about what they do. Coming into class every day, ready to learn, ready to sing, ready to make music, and that just feeds me every day. I love it. Some unique learning opportunities at Mayfield would include the option where essentially if you're in 11th or 12th grade or even 9th or 10th grade now, you can essentially go from a regular learning experience to having everything be self-paced.
of our staff, especially Ms. Highland, which is a part of the gifted program. All the staff just makes us feel safe and just feel like we're all good. I guess one thing I really like about Mayfield is one, all the classes that they offer is, there's just a bunch of classes and everything they can take with varying levels of difficulty, which has just been really helpful for me going through high school. I also really like everything that you can get involved in, especially with bands and everything. I've just made a lot of memories throughout the years and lots of friendships and everything. So one thing I really love about Mayfield is the enthusiasm of being a lifelong learner here. Students really come to school excited about learning and growing and nurturing their own education first and foremost in these walls, and they see the possibility of all that is to come.
Thank you very much. And I will just leave you with, this is what you guys have created. This is what you guys have allowed us to lead. And it's because of your vision. So I can't thank you enough. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Ligon. Mr. Morgan?
Thank you.
Ms. Morgan, I do have to say, as a mother of a special needs child, thank you. I will say my husband and I at football games had noticed the new group of cheerleaders and the positive things that are happening. So, wow. I will tell you, if there was ever something that capstoned why our group, our work with Huron Studer is going to be so important, there it is. We want to make sure that that keeps growing, thriving, and changes as it needs to, as time goes on. Usually this is the time for community communications. Nobody contacted us, so we do not have any community communications at this time. But I would like to take a brief break so that students that needed to leave are welcome to do so before we get into boring business of the meeting. All right, we will go back to business, and next on our agenda is President's announcements. And I just wanted to reiterate how excited I am about the work we're going to be doing with the Huron Studer Group. I also did want to highlight when the town hall meetings will be. The first one will be February 9th from 6 to 7:30 to discuss the alignment of the continuous improvement plan and priorities.
Mayfield Middle.
Mayfield Middle School, yes, thank you. The second town hall meeting will be March 6th, and it will be at the high school from 6 to 7:30, and to continue that conversation. So please, come on. It will be good conversation. Then from April 26th to May 5th, there will be a Focus Forward Mayfield feedback survey that will be taken. So that's the way it will be rolling out. And we'll make sure and remind you as time goes on. Superintendent's announcements.
No announcements at this time, Madam President. Thank you.
And next we move to committee reports. And the first committee is Student Learning and Academic Excellence. Mr. Tereski?
No report tonight, Madam Chairman.
All right, and Fiscal Stewardship and Operations. Mr. Panaro?
The 4 projects we've been talking about for the last couple of months are well on their way. So utility trucks outside the entrance of the high school.
Yes.
So that's moving along. So good to see everything's moving along.
We had 5 trucks, I want you to know, lined up. It was awesome. Next is Community Relations and Family Partnerships. Ms. Green?
Madam President, I have a brief report. Mayfield Parent Council meeting was held back on January 19th at Mayfield Middle School with a presentation by our Board of Education President, Sue Grosick, and our Vice President, Al Hess, to discuss the role of the Board of Education. Sue and Al shared the responsibilities of being a board member, in addition to sharing our annual goals. There were great questions from the parents in attendance, and the comments from the participants were very positive. In addition, Dr. Barnes presented a brief presentation on our upcoming partnership with Huron Studer Educational Consulting Firm. Again, these meetings are all very well received with the main purpose allowing our district administration to maintain a positive relationship and partnership with our parents and community members. Meetings are typically held at Mayfield Middle School from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. And one final item, the Mayfield Schools Foundation will again be hosting their 3rd annual Swing and Party fundraiser at Top Golf. I will be chairing that event once again. The date of the event is Sunday, April 16th, 2023, and further information is forthcoming. Thank you.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have growth, leadership, talent, and professional capacity. Mr. Hess.
It was pretty much covered tonight, but I have no report to anything further. Thank you.
All right. Okay. That moves us to the superintendent's consent agenda. Do I have a motion for items A through P?
So moved.
Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Tressi.
Yes.
And Mr. Fenaro.
Yes.
In other superintendent's business, we have certified additional training. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hess, excuse me one second. Mr. Tressi.
Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Tressi.
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro.
Yes.
And I need a motion for the certified additional training.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Tressi.
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro.
Yes.
Next, we have the France trip for the French language students. Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Tressi. Mr. Fenaro, seconded. Mr. Hess. Sorry.
It was a neck and neck tie, but we're going to.
Mr. Fornes.
Fornes.
That was good. Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Tressi.
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro.
Yes.
Next, we have the approval of the 2022-2023 new courses.
So moved.
Second, if I may comment, the class offerings for MMS, I just have to say, I think these are awesome. Really just, again, forward thinking, just increasing that, you know, the future of where our kids are at, and I just think these offerings are great, so.
Just a wide variety of it, from college to jazz band.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Great job.
Just a great segue to some other things once they get to the high school.
Yes.
It's that portrait of a wildcat we keep talking about.
There you go.
As Mr. Hess indicated in his update this evening.
Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Tressi.
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro.
Yes.
Next, we'll move to the treasurer's report and the financial statements for December 31st, 2022. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Tressi.
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro.
Yes.
And next, we have donations, my favorite. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek.
Yes.
Mr. Hess.
Yes.
Mr. Tressi.
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro.
Yes.
And next, we have some more financial transactions. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Ms. Grieve.
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
In other treasurer's business, we have mileage rate change for 2023. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
And we have the minimum wage increase for 2023.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
Next is Next Steps Service Contract for 2022-2023 school year. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
I would just like to indicate, because the question was asked, just as I had mentioned during the board honors, that these contracts were required by law to approve, even though it's on behalf of the non-publics, because we act as the fiscal agent for the funds, and we have a responsibility per statute to ensure that the funds are being used for non-secular items. So when we get audited, they want to know if the elected body approved. So just so the audience is aware. That's why it says on here, I believe, St. Pascal's.
Thank you. Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
Next, we are with the A+ Solutions Service Agreement. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
And item E is College Credit Plus Primary Partnership Agreement with Lakeland Community College for 2023-2024.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
Next, we have the minutes of the regular board meeting of December 14th, 2022. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
Next, we have the membership with the Ohio Education Policy Institute. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
And the 2023-24 Excel Tech Program fees. Whew. Sorry they weren't frozen. Motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
And the cell phone stipends for 22-23.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
And the minutes of the organizational meeting of January 4th. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second. Third.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
And in other board business, we have the primary service agreement for the Educational Service Center of Northeast Ohio.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
And last, but always the favorite, least. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. Grieve?
Yes.
Ms. Grosek?
Yes.
Mr. Hess?
Yes.
Mr. Tressi?
Yes.
And Mr. Fenaro?
Yes.
That's a wrap.